Gertrude and Joe. All right, got a little project. I was bored. It's a little cool outside. Winter's coming. This is the Rosie, and there's Jerome and Dink. This is the goat milking shed. The goats are on this side over here, but it's a little chilly in here. This is north this way, so the wind's coming right through here. So we are going to close this in. I have an old door, and I'm going to put a solid door here and close this in. And then I've ordered some 12mm plastic, and I'm going to close this in with clear plastic. It won't be completely airproof, but it will greatly cut down on the wind, which will help for the winter. It's easier. We thought about moving the goat shed milking over to there, but yeah, I guess it'd be a little challenging to get the goats around and feed them and all, so I think it's easier to do this. So we're going to pull this contraption off that Ryan built, which has worked great. We're going to pull this off, put two 2x4s in this way, put the board in, hang the door on that, and then we'll have pieces of plastic to go in the windows. So let's get that done.
Gertie and I say it's getting a little cold and windy out, so Miami is
Gertie's teeth are getting cold.
Yeah, my hands are getting cold, so we're putting up some isinglass or clear vinyl to just at least stop the wind from coming in there, and the snow. The other day when it snowed, there was like brushing of snow all in there, made it a little slippery. And Fergie and Purdy and Mr. Steer all coming out to watch us, see what we're doing. They've been chowing on our pumpkins. I'm gonna smile for the camera. Oh, that big nose. Oh my goodness.
The infamous knife.
What you doing, Gertie Gert? Yeah? What are you doing?
It's a good stapler. It's composite, it's plastic, so it's nice and light. I grew up with metal ones and they're hard to push and everything. This is much better. Boy, that thing is hard to get in. Hope you have fun next year taking all these staples out.
Well, next year the milking stand's going to be over there, right?
I have no idea.
Or actually it's going to be up in the new barn.
The new barn. Yeah, so wait till you see this thing I want.
Oh, God. Not going to build it?
It's a digger. Oh, the barn? Oh, yeah. But
oh, you're talking about the truck.
The digger truck, yeah. And I found one. They make one on that's tracks. You don't drive it. It's just got tracks on it. And it'll go in a 36-inch door. But it goes up 30 feet and can lift 3,500 pounds. It'll hold a telephone pole, and it's got an auger on it. So you can dig the hole. It's got a winch. So you pull the pole up and then set the pole in the ground. I want one. That way we can build lots of stuff with that, because I can set posts all by myself safely without tearing myself up. Nice out here.
Right?
Hot.
Why are you putting all this plastic up when it's so warm?
Right? About a week when it's 24 degrees, you're going to thank me.
She's going to be all dried up by then.
You know what? That's right. She'll probably dry up now that it gets cold. And all this is worthless. You still got to feed.
You still got to feed. Still got to, you know, it'll help keep them warm.
They're doing a number on that pine tree. Get them a whole tree.
Yeah, you got plenty you took down up there.
Plenty.
Well, that used to be a pine tree, and we had to take it down. And the goats have really enjoyed eating it down to just about nothing.
Well, I do like jerky, but jerky's ridiculously expensive. So Shelly's kind enough to cut me up a, what is this?
London broil.
London broil. Slice it thin and then marinate it overnight in the refrigerator, and then we put it out on these racks and put it in the little oven and cook it for 3 to 5 hours. So, it's good stuff. I've got this little oven, 2 racks in, put it on, let's see, start 174. We're on dehydrate, and 174 degrees for 5 hours, and we start. There she goes. Let it sit for 3. It usually takes about 3 hours. I take it out about 3 hours, and it is perfect. Let's check on the meat. Look at that. Yum. So the tractor started a whole series of events because I'm working on parts for tractors. I've got tractors torn apart, trying to fix things and clean them up and make them nice. Trying to take 3 tractors, make 2 I can use for different things and probably sell one of them. And then, but to do that, I have lots of parts to clean, a lot of rusty parts. So I ended up buying a sandblaster. 2 sandblasters because they had 2. So I bought a sandblaster, really cheap, and 500 pounds of sand. It's an old sandblaster. There's a U.S. company. It still makes them, but it needs, like everything else I get, it needs a little attention.
TLC.
TLC. And so I have a friend you might have seen in videos before, John, who is an electrician who helps people all around the county. He had met a really nice lady, Mary, whose husband had passed on a couple years ago, and who was selling all her stuff, and said, we were talking yesterday morning, we were at another place buying some stuff, and he said that I was talking about sandblasting parts, and he goes, you know, I know somebody who's got a sandblaster. She wants to sell it cheap. So I said, okay. So we went up there this morning. It's a beautiful drive. It's our Sunday drive. We went on the back roads up through what's called, what is that place called up there? Bluestone. It's called Bluestone, up the New River, Bluestone Park. Walk back up there, all 1-lane roads. Really nice, beautiful drive, beautiful drive. Went up, and we thought we lived off grid. We thought we lived at the end of a road. She lives at the end of the road. She lives so far back on the end of the road, she sold property to different people so she could create neighbors. That's how far she lives back. So, super nice lady. So bought this, her husband was a mechanic on the side. He was an x-ray technician who was a mechanic on the side, and had this sandblaster and a portable sandblaster that she wanted to get rid of. So we bought them. They're old, you know, kind of hard for sandblasters to go bad because you basically just hook air to it, put sand in it, and blast things. Like all this stuff here, all this stuff needs sandblasting. All these old parts like this need sandblasting to get all the rust and scale off of them so I can paint them and make the tractor look like new. Like this seat has grass growing on it, right? This needs to be, I mean, it comes off easy, but sandblast it, it would look really nice. So that's what we're doing. And so today I've got to figure out where I'm gonna put this stuff. I think I'm gonna make room over there in that set of shelves and get rid of 4 shelves and put it in there, right up against the wall, out of the way. Hopefully it won't make too much of a mess. So that's my Sunday afternoon project. We did talk about the sandblasters I bought. The problem is where to put them. So I'm rearranging. back over my shoulder. I rearranged those shelves, made some room. I've actually thrown some things away. And then I've also taken out these lower 4 shelves here on both sides of this rack. And look at that, I emptied up shelves up there too. Stacked those way up high up there, that helped. But yeah, I was so smart, I was gonna put that sandblaster right in that hole. I said, it fits perfect. But the problem is, it loads over from the right-hand side, so that's not gonna work. So I think what I'm gonna do is go ahead and open those up and then move some of this other stuff. This is the honey extractor right there, the air compressor, some of the welding stuff I'll put underneath those shelves and get them off the floor. And I think I'll put the sandblaster against this wall right here. I got power here and it's easy to sweep it out the door, any sand. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what I've been doing. I've been piddling for the last 3 hours, just rearranging and sorting and cleaning. Sunday afternoon kind of stuff. So that's what we're working on. It's a pretty day still. Got the door open. It's almost, let's see, next week is Thanksgiving, so.
During the summer, we had an abundance of eggs between the chickens and the ducks and the guineas. So I decided to kind of research and look up making mayonnaise. And I found a pretty easy recipe that I've kind of adapted, but it's really easy, especially since I have found an immersion blender. I did not know these things existed until maybe a couple of months ago. This is like my new best friend. So I'm going to start with just an egg. And a tablespoon of some white wine vinegar. And a tablespoon of Dijon mustard. And then a tablespoon of fresh squeezed lemon juice, minus the seeds. And I am going to blend all of that up so it's nice and combined. And then I'm going to slowly start adding the olive oil. Oh, forgot my salt. And I'm going to put in a pinch of salt. You can add other herbs to this too. You can add dill, you can add basil, you can add anything that you would like. I like to kind of keep it simple because I never know what I'm going to use it to mix in. I'm going to slowly at first add just a couple of drops of olive oil. Once the whole mixture starts emulsifying, kind of coming together, getting a little firmer, then I can add it a little faster. But right at the beginning, the key is you want to just kind of drizzle it in. Once you put this in the refrigerator, which it'll keep in there for about 3 weeks, it will firm up a little bit more. So I'm just going to go ahead and put it in my jar, pop it in the refrigerator. It is 9:30 in the morning. By lunchtime, we'll be ready to go.
All right, it's Tuesday, I think. Tuesday? I think it's Tuesday. Look at the sunshine. Sunshine on my shoulders makes me happy. Everybody's out. Ducks are out. Guineas are out. We're out. Oh, it's supposed to go down. It's going to be 60 today. It's supposed to go down to 22 on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day. And we're running out of wood. Not out of wood, but wood down at the wood shed's getting low. So I am going to fire up one of the Farmalls. And we're going to test it out. We're going to see if it'll pull a trailer full of wood. But I can see it's leaking oil. I'll show you that. There's our tractor. And you can see underneath right there, that's oil. And I know where that's coming from. It's coming from right here. Right here, see it? That is the hydraulic, they call it the one touch. and that's leaking oil. There's a O-ring in there, so that's the one I'm rebuilding now. When the parts get here, I'll rebuild that. I'll just swap out this whole unit right here. I'll swap out this whole unit and that'll stop that. But I probably should check the oil in that before I do this. Either that or just get the truck and not mess with the tractor. I don't know, what do you think? I'd like to test out the tractor. Let's put some oil in there and test this out. Let's do that, huh? There the oil goes in right there. Fill this until that oil comes out there. Stick this right in here, like that. Yeah. And we want to put oil in here. Will do, donkey. Alright, got that tight. So I'll get the choke. Make sure it's in neutral. A little bit of throttle. Starts right up. Clutch. Second gear. Off we go. Trailer's right over there. Oh, what a pretty day. We're hooked up, let's see what she does. I don't think we can put much weight on the front, it'll pick the tractor up. There's any way this thing's gonna pull a load of wood. It can barely pull the trailer up. Look at that. Oh, no brakes. Oh, oh. Okay, that didn't work. I just tried the tractor out for the first time. This one, first tractor. Other two are in the system. And I found out two things. One is that it doesn't have power. Probably got stuff in the carburetor. So there's a jet, apparently it's pretty small, so I'm gonna check that. And I also found out the hard way it doesn't have brakes. No brakes when there's a load on it. So my trailer started going backward, I lost power, I couldn't shift. And luckily there was a tree there to stop the trailer, but I had no brakes. So I'm going to try to adjust these brakes a little bit and see if I can get them, get some brakes on it without having to take the tires and redo the brakes. All it is a band that goes around the axle. There's an adjustment here. I take this clevis off and tighten it up. Let's see if we can't get some brakes on this thing. Pull the carburetor pin out or the jet out and just clean it and see if we can fix those two issues anyway. Phew. You drop what you had.